Today I move on to the component of Ichimoku that is probably most often discussed, the Ichimoku Cloud, or to give it its proper name, the Kumo. Stay tuned. Darwinex is a UK FCA regulated broker and asset manager on a mission to disrupt the financial trading, investing and asset management industries. If you're a talented trader looking to attract investor capital to your strategies, Darwinex is the fastest way for you to do this. We enable traders to raise third-party investor capital and then charge success fees on high watermark profits. Additionally, Darwinex itself invests in its traders with our seed capital allocation program that allocates up to 90 million euros per year in successful trading strategies. So, if all of that sounds interesting, learn more by clicking on the link here, or you can find further links in the description right below. Now back to today's tutorial. The Kumo is a vital component within the Ichimoku indicator. It can provide a huge amount of information to help inform trading decisions. The study of Ichimoku, however, is just one of the indicators I'll be studying in detail in this Spotlight on Indicators series. Now, in previous Ichimoku episodes, I've covered the Chikou Span, the Tenkan Sen and the Kijun Sen, and now it's the turn of the Ichimoku Cloud. Now, in the chart that I'm going to use today, I've dulled out the other components of Ichimoku so that the cloud stands out more, because this is primarily what we're going to be concentrating our efforts on. So the cloud is defined as the space between two other lines. The first of those is called the Senkou Span A, and the second is called the Senkou Span B. And so this hatched area in the middle here is what's known as the Kumo, or the cloud. But Span A is not always above Span B, and when A goes below B, the colour of the cloud is often changed in order to help indicate that. Now, when A is above B, this is termed a bullish Kumo, and when A is below B, it's called a bearish Kumo. Now, just like the other components of Ichimoku have alternative names, the same is the case for the Senkou Span A and B lines, and often these are termed the leading Span A and the leading Span B. And the reason that they're termed leading is because they're actually plotted 26 bars ahead of the price action. Now, if you saw the previous episode where I looked at the Chikou Span, you'll remember this is exactly the opposite of that. So the Chikou Span here is plotted 26 bars behind the current price action. And as you can see, the Ichimoku Cloud is plotted 26 ahead of it. And that's what gives us the Chikou Span, or the lagging span, and the Senkou Span, or the leading span lines. But how do we use the Kumo? Well, one of the most common uses is to help inform levels of support and resistance. Now, often when we think of support and resistance, we think of a single line, although if you read a lot about this, people will say that the support and resistance occurs around that approximate level. But with the Kumo, it actually provides that region of support and resistance for us. So it's the whole of the cloud that's considered to provide those support and resistance guidelines. But just like any other support and resistance line, price may struggle to penetrate that initially. But then when it does, of course, this provides us with a clue of a change in the regime of the asset. But what happens if price is inside the cloud? Well, often this is seen as an area of equilibrium, and many traders would say that this is an area of indecision. And so because of that, any trading transactions should be avoided when the price is located here. And that's because there's this level of uncertainty. Will the support and resistance hold, or will price break through? And at that time, we don't know. So this is where the principles of using the Kumo for support and resistance actually inform us more thoroughly than a single line of support and resistance does. Now, the Kumo is also used in order to inform the relative positions of other elements of the Ichimoku indicator and also price. So for example, where is price in relation to the Kumo? Is it below, above, or inside? Exactly the same for the Chikou span. And I've also seen some strategies that talk about where the Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen are in relation to the cloud. And it's when we start to combine all of these different components of Ichimoku that we can start to formulate a full trading strategy. But we have just one more topic to cover before we move on to that, and that is a bit more detail around the calculations of the Senkou Span A and B, because as you know, I'm a firm believer in if you thoroughly understand an indicator's calculation, you can put it to use much more effectively. And based on those calculations, I'll then look at the rationale behind the cloud. Why does it provide us with levels of support and resistance? How does it help us to inform our trading decisions? Okay, so to be kept informed of future episodes, please do remember to subscribe or follow the channel. And now until next time, trade safe.